So at this time, please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone would, please remain standing. I wish to have a moment of silence in memory of Captain Derrick Nester of the Wyomissing Fire Department. Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Berner?
Here.
Councilmember Stanko? Here. Councilmember Reiner? Here. Councilmember Mobile?
Here.
Councilmember Barnett? Here. Councilmember Weintraub?
Here.
And Council President James.
Here. Okay, before we do public comment, we did have a brief executive session this evening to discuss personnel matters. We also had an executive session on April the 9th, and that was to discuss property and personnel matters. Okay, do we have any public comments as they relate to agenda items only?
I have an objection on Sunshine Act before you get to public comments.
Proceed.
Thank you. My name is Adrian Jake. I'm here to raise objection concerning the borough's and the solicitor's actions in violation of Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. This objection pertains to refusal to include my comprehensive public comment documents in the minutes of the March meeting and the ongoing obstruction related to tonight's meeting minutes. First, non-inclusion of March minutes. In March, I provided a detailed public comment, including a comprehensive report. However, only the portion verbally spoken was included in the minutes, not the full report. This violates the Sunshine Act requirement to include the subject of the testimony, not just the summary. The obstruction by Mr. Hartman has continued to, has continuously obstructed the revision of the March minutes. Despite my submission in April, he delayed reviewing my documents, leaving insufficient time to include them in tonight's meeting documents. This obstruction now results in the claim that it is too late for tonight's meeting. My documents were submitted well in advance in April, which is well before the deadline for tonight's documents. Therefore, his argument regarding the deadline does not hold. Mr. Hartman has a known history of opposing transparency. In 2019, he was forcing me to file right-to-know requests just to obtain the meeting agendas. He uses his position to frustrate transparency, and in March, they failed to respond, and now he says it's too late. The other problem is about the quality of the documents. Even what he wants to include is a black and white scanned copy of my comments. And I have a sample here. And by the way, for the record, I submitted the full comments of this with the documents to Melissa's and copied Chris and Michelle in tonight's email. So just to show you, this is what he wants to put. It's just a black picture. Nobody understands anything from here. What's the purpose of including this? This is the true original picture in color and full resolution. You have simply no right to alter our documents. This is removal of information. You're not supposed to. Technical issues, they don't apply. It's the easiest thing to attach. I submitted a full resolution PDF. You just attach that to the PDFs that go on in the minutes. That's the simplest task. If you want, I can offer you training. We don't need to scan black and white so nobody understands what the comments are about. So I have attached, and again for the record, I have attached the full document after this. Again, they're in the email. So I formally object to the refusal to include the full public comment of the March minutes and the continuous restriction. I request the borough to uphold the spirit and letter of the Sunshine Act by ensuring that my detailed testimony is accurately and fully recorded. And I thank you very much. That was objection of public comments.
I'd like an opportunity to respond. What Adrian is referring to is that there was a statement he made at the March meeting that included the delivery to the borough of some documents. This related to the no parking zone that he has had a great interest in on the street where he lives. The way that his documents were included in the posted minutes of the March meeting were in a reverse order, so that it was confusing. That chronologically they were in the reverse order of the earliest document being first and his commentary about the situation being at the end. And so I agreed that that was confusing, and my response to Adrian's request to modify the minutes from the March meeting was to reverse the order so they were in chronological order that would make more sense. I also indicated that there was some duplication of photographs. There were some photographs that he had commentary on that were included in his materials, and then those same photographs were included in the minutes without commentary. And so the solution that I thought was appropriate was to delete the duplicative photographs and only keep the photographs with commentary, because that, again, would enhance, or I believe, provide the information that Adrian intended to be included in his comments. What I objected to with Adrian's request was to supplement his written statement with a new written statement that he didn't present at the March meeting, which in my opinion is not a proper correction of the March minutes that were posted. So the other thing that Adrian is objecting to is that I only got my comments to him today, and that did not provide for, well, what he asked, because I refused to allow him to supplement his March public comments with the additional information that he wanted to include in the March minutes. I said, you can submit new public comment at any time that would include the additional information that you wanted. But it was too late for that to be included in the May public comment. You would need to submit it at the June public meeting. And that's what Adrian is complaining about, is that he didn't want to have to wait until June. He wanted it to be immediately received by the borough at the May meeting, which violates our rule about 2 days prior notice of any new public comment documents that are to be submitted. So I just wanted to clarify for the council and for the audience what my understanding is of what Adrian is objecting to as a violation of the Sunshine Law. And my legal opinion is that the borough is not violating the Sunshine Law, because what Adrian is asking for is not in compliance with the Sunshine Law, and the borough's handling of it is not in violation of the Sunshine Law, and therefore there is not a proper objection to the Sunshine Law.
Well, I have further objection. I have further objection, I'm sorry. That is inaccurate.
We're not having a debate on this.
No, it's not a debate, it's an objection on his comment. It is inaccurate. He procrastinated doing this job, and I could have had all the time to submit for tonight's meeting. If you had not had given me the answer when I told you in April, I would have had full time to resubmit for tonight's meeting, even to put it as a video on the board. So it is inaccurate what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I
You
didn't
delayed
I didn't
giving me
say-
the answer until today.
Okay, this has no bearing on the official business of the borough. So
It has
therefore-
on the Sunshine Act,
therefore,
sir.
You've been, we've heard your objections have been noted. Our solicitor has responded, and his comments have also been noted. So at this time, we're going to move on to public comment. Do we have any public comment as they relate to items on the agenda? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and address.
Patricia Way, 115 Valley Green Village, Wyomissing HOA President. I am here for the ordinance number 1440-2024 on rezoning. We are concerned that the rezoning of property set on State Hill Road 1714 has requested to be rezoned for additional height in building a structure, and it will be a hardship and well, not an inconvenience. It's going to create major problems for Valley Green Village that lives behind that property. In reference to the redevelopment area mixed use incentive overlay.
Well, I can just comment procedurally. What is before council is a recommendation from the planning commission to advertise the ordinance. The ordinance is not up for approval tonight. It is up for consideration of advertising it. If council takes the vote tonight to approve advertising that ordinance, there will be a public hearing at the time that the council considers approval. That is likely to occur at the June meeting of council if the Borough Council authorizes advertising of the ordinance tonight. As I stated at the Planning Commission meeting where you attended, this proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance would apply to projects that occur within that zone along State Hill Road. We don't currently have any application for a specific project. If a project is submitted and council has enacted the amendment to the zoning ordinance, there would have to be a public hearing in the form of a conditional use hearing on each and every project that would utilize those overlay regulations along State Hill Road. So you will have at least two opportunities to provide public comment to the council. First would be at the hearing where the ordinance will be considered, which again is of a general nature and doesn't approve any specific project. Further, if there is actually a project proposed, there will be a public hearing about that specific project, and you and the other residents would have every opportunity to participate in that hearing and provide comments on a specific project at that time. So I just want everyone to be aware procedurally where this is and what would be going on in the future.
Aurora Cardy, 1910 Square Court.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
Aurora Cardy, 1910 Square Court.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I understand, what you just said, and I was at that other meeting myself, but how can there be, it just always sounds like we're being told that nothing's going on when I've actually seen pictures of what's been proposed since way back in November, of a 6-story apartment building. I just drove from the other side of Wyomissing down State Hill Road. Putting a 6-story building there is higher than the tree line.
You've seen more than we have.
No, she hasn't. It was presented at the meeting.
It was presented at the
Well,
November meeting.
that one, it's not 6 stories. It's not, economic development. It was a 4-story.
No.
It is tall.
Yeah, Yeah, I just drove by, I saw how tall that, when you're driving down, how tall that monstrosity of a car wash now is with those towers, and that's only 2 stories. And when I came further down, I just, in my mind, I quickly looked over to the hotel there on Berkshire Court, and that's like 4 or 5 stories, and I thought a 6-story, even a 4-story would be a monstrosity there in that area. It's too small, this is my opinion. Whether they do, I heard the gentleman, the developer say it would either be 6 stories, if they feel that's too tall, it'll be 4 stories, we'll just lengthen it. I heard it, so.
As our solicitor has said.
And I understand that.
Right.
But we're hearing that there's nothing been brought before us, this, that, there has been at the November meeting.
Unless I'm missing something.
Well, there's no application for approval that's been submitted. There was a hypothetical project that was shown, and I don't know to whom it was shown.
Economic development.
Okay, it was at an economic development committee meeting, wasn't at a borough council meeting. It was a hypothetical project, and this ordinance would not allow a 6-story structure. The maximum height is 55 feet, and there are a number of conditions that would be required in order to even get to 55 feet. So I don't know if a project that meets the requirements of this proposed ordinance is economically feasible. I don't know if we'll ever see a project, but if we do see a project, it'll have to comply with the requirements of the ordinance, which has a maximum height of 55 feet, and it would further have to go through a process of hearing before council for zoning approval, as well as all the normal planning procedures in front of the planning commission. So I guess I just want to be clear, there's no application for a specific project that's been submitted, and so there are no rights that anybody has to build anything at this time.
Does that answer your concerns?
So far.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we're not.
I didn't realize it was an economical, there's so many different meetings, I didn't realize, I thought it was at a borough, again, we're all just kind of learning, we're all just kind of learning all this.
Yeah, economic development is just, it's a committee to promote, the economy of this borough.
I understand.
When it goes beyond that, then it gets into the nuts and bolts of everything. So, I can assure you, and to everyone else, that nothing will take place, no actions without it being advertised and with your knowledge of such.
So the meeting in June that we would get, what is that meeting called?
Well, that would be the borough council meeting,
Okay,
and that would be if the council tonight authorizes advertising of the ordinance. Then at the June meeting, there would be a public hearing on the proposed ordinance. At the end of the public hearing, council would be able to consider a motion to approve the ordinance. That would then make the regulation part of the zoning ordinance. And then after that, somebody could present an application for a specific project under that new ordinance.
gotcha, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm
Please.
Little and I'm back here.
Okay, please state your name and address.
I'm Jill Hall and I live at 158 Valley Green Circle. I have one question about if there becomes a new project in 1714 State Hill Road. We have a private drive, Kings Way. It has access to State Hill Road from our development. We're a quote-unquote gated community because there's a gate there. So, but the point of the whole thing is years and years ago, in 1987 or so, 88, 89, the shopping center requested to have access to that road. So they had 2 entrances and exits off of State Hill Road onto to deflect traffic. which makes sense. Now, I want to know if we refuse to give access to a possible development at the restaurant because of the wear and tear on that road, that we would have to absorb those costs. Can we be forced to make a driveway or let them have a driveway?
You cannot be forced to give them access to a private road unless the borough were to condemn that land through an eminent domain process, which I think is highly unlikely. What I think is, in fact, the case is that the developer should try to work with you to gain your cooperation. I think it would be a much more desirable design for any redevelopment project at that location if they shared access with you and the shopping center. I think that would be a much better project. But that's not going to happen unless the developer works with you and gets your cooperation.
Somewhere along the line, we did get some email information, and they wanted to put it in a specific spot, and we said, no, it's too close to our gate. And in and out traffic right there at our gate is not conducive to our people going in and out. Never heard back. So I didn't know if we could be pressured into, I'll sell the road for $1 million, why not?
I think that's a good plan.
That's an option. All right, well, we'll get a lawyer for this next
Very
meeting,
good.
and then we'll have more, protection.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me talk.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Angela Adler. I live at 1544 Cleveland, and I am here to support two things that are on the agenda. One, I was really excited to see about the reinstallation of the basketball hoops. I taught sociology of sport at University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where I got my PhD, 2 Big Ten athletes, and that's going to be a great thing for our community, especially with the girls basketball team being so wonderful, and it's energizing all of our youth players, including my 9-year-old son. I was really surprised because I graduated in class of 2006, so I just recently moved back. I was surprised to see that the hoops were down. I understand that there were reasons that they were down, but I'm glad to see that there's an opportunity for them to be back up, because I want to see kids who are out playing outside, not inside on their iPads and stuff like that. And so it's good for the community, it's good for everyone's health. So I really support that. And then also, I just wanted to say thank you for the Stonehouse project. I'm disabled, I work in disability inclusion. I worked at NYU as their inaugural director of disability inclusion. And the ADA is for disabled people in name, but it benefits everybody. ADA accessible areas are most used by people with baby strollers and carts and things, that even people with temporary injuries like my leg. So I know that you're looking at bids and everything, but I just wanted to say I know I missed that all too, because we haven't quite moved here yet, but I'm very supportive of all the ADA stuff that's going on at the Stonehouse. So thank you all very much.
Thank you
Council
for your comment.
President.
Mr. J.
Yes, just, I was listening to the comments about the overlay, and why I decided to speak is because what I think I hear is there are a few issues. Number one, yes, it was at the economic development meeting, but it was a proposed project. And all of a sudden, we see this new overlay appear, which enables that project. So you're not stopping it, you're making it possible. Then the second thing is, the current height in the current ordinance is 40 feet. You're raising it to 55. I understand that there are certain conditions. I can read the ordinance, but the question is, why raise it to 55? Unless there is a reason for it behind, and the reason looks to be this tall building that Mr. Folino wants to build over there. So I think these are questions, and the last question is, you keep saying, oh, this is just the advertising. Why advertise it? I think that's what they are trying to say. Why advertise it in the current form? And you say, well, they can come next time, and you keep postponing. You also ask them to come to the roundabout meeting, which had nothing to do with their problem. So the question is, why advertise it with 55? And the last thing is, what this ordinance does, then it enables a zoning application for variance. Oh, we can go up to 55, all we need is a setback variance. Oh, if we go a few feet, get a few feet of variance, then we can build an apartment building of whatever, 5-6 stories, whatever that thing is. So I don't think you're truthful to these residents. And I think that
That's enough. Unless you have stuff to back it up, do not start accusing people as you have
I'm not
so many
accusing.
times in the past without
I'm
any
not
justification.
accusing, I don't think you're truthful. This is
Do
not
you have
an
anything else you
accusation.
wish to say?
I'm not coming here to argue.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're the one who argues all the time. You are the one
Do you have
arguing.
anything else you wish to say?
I have the right to express my beliefs. I have the right to make a good point. And you make an argument about it. So I'm asking you to let me finish.
Great, you have 2 minutes.
Yes. So I think that this should be clarified. Why are we going to 55? I think that's their problem. Because it means that at some point in time, 5 years, 6 years, we're gonna see a 55-foot building over there. And I think that's what their problem is. Thank you.
Out of clarification, you kept saying "we" all the time. Let me clarify for everyone that you do not have a seat at this table whatsoever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you consider to say "we" all the time as if you do.
I-
Thank you, sir.
I don't.
Okay. Are there any other public comments this evening dealing with agenda items?
Hi, I'm Diane Price. I'm the chair for the Berks County Outdoor Day Parade, which will be happening this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. It's going to step off at 8th Avenue and Penn Avenue. We'll be staging the parade in the 8,900 blocks of Penn Avenue. And I'm here to thank the Borough of Wyomissing, as well as the police and fire departments for their help in letting us have this parade here. The parade steps off, we go into West Reading, turn right on 3rd Avenue, turn right onto Spruce Street, and left onto South 7th Avenue to end the parade. Again, the hospitality and the cooperation we've had over the years from Wyomissing has been really made it so much easier. We're all volunteers. This is my 20th year chairing, and I'm grateful for this cooperation. It makes it so much easier. This year we're recognizing the U.S. Marine Corps, so we have 2-star Marine Corps General, Major General David Maxwell from the Pentagon, who's going to be the reviewing officer, and Sergeant Major retired Rocco DiCamillo, U.S. Marine Corps Reserves, as our parade marshal. And so you're all welcome to come out for the parade on Saturday. I hope you will. We're really glad Wyomissing Junior Senior High School Band is going to be a big part of our 2nd division, our missing unit division. And again, thank you to the community, to the folks, to the police and fire departments for helping us make this happen. Recognize today's military and the veterans in Berks County.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for your volunteerism and all you've done throughout all these years. And I may also add, you interviewed very nice on Channel 69.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Bad hair day, though. Thank you much for that. Thank you, appreciate that. I've been doing it for a while. Actually, I had somebody at the museum one day when I finally retired about 1.5 years ago from the post office. And I had a delivery at the museum the one day, volunteer at the desk, and they recognized my voice from being on the radio talking about the parade, and I'm like, oh, okay. And the cameraman from Channel 69 knew me right away, and I'm like, well, you can't hide then, it's not, it's hard to disappear then, but, you have to do good things all the time.
Very
But,
good.
again, thank you so much, and thank you for your thank you, and I appreciate it. Come on out and cheer on our veterans, our junior ROTCs that are in the parade.
We will be there.
And council members are welcome to be over by the reviewing stand at the West Reading Shopping Center if you'd like to join us. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments, public comments?
Yes, please. Hello, my name is Adam Burke, I live at 1544 Cleveland. I apologize for my appearance, I was just refereeing a U8 girls game in the rain. I'd just like to say that I would really urge the council to approve the reinstallation of the hoops on the basketball courts. I firmly believe that having places to play, unstructured sport is critical to children's health and the general health of the community. So I would simply just ask you to please approve that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna pause for 1 second. Normally, I read just the highlight of a resolution. Given the subject matter, and if you will indulge me, I will read the entire resolution that is being introduced to all of council this evening. Good evening, gentlemen. These individuals, just for the public that you're seeing, are the fine heroes and firefighters of the Wyomissing Fire Department, along with their friends and family. Okay, we're all in. Okay, this time if you will oblige me, I'd like to introduce resolution number 2024-2022, or excuse me, 22. And this is a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, in recognition of the life and contributions of Derrick Nester and approving the posthumous promotion of Derrick Nester from Fire Department Captain to Fire Department Deputy Fire Chief of the Borough of Wyomissing. Wyomissing Borough Fire Department. Whereas Captain Nester dedicated 17 years of unwavering service to the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department, embodying the values of commitment, bravery, and selfishness. And whereas Captain Nester admirably served as captain of the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department for 9 years, demonstrating exceptional leadership and professionalism throughout his service. And whereas Captain Nester courageous actions were recognized in 2010 when he was honored as Firefighter of the Year by the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department for his heroic efforts during a critical incident at the Wynwood Apartments, where his life-saving actions helped mitigate a devastating fire incident. And whereas Captain Nester's dedication to saving lives went beyond Wyomissing borders, as demonstrated by the Keystone Fire Company of Shillington, awarding Captain Nester a unit citation in 2017 in recognition of his extraordinary bravery and commitment during the course of saving lives at a structure fire in Shillington Borough. And whereas Captain Nester's valor and dedication were once again recognized in 2024 as he received a unit citation from the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department for his outstanding contributions to saving a trauma survivor within Wyomissing Borough. And whereas the Borough Council and all of borough officials and employees and the entire borough community are deeply saddened by the ultimately death of Captain Nester on May 6, 2024. And whereas the legacy of Captain Nester is one of bravery, devotion, and unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of the community he served. And whereas the Borough of Wyomissing, at the time of Captain Nester's death, was beginning to process to choose a deputy fire chief for the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department. And whereas Captain Nester would have been a leading candidate for the position of deputy fire chief for the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department. And whereas, in heartfelt respect and appreciation for Captain Nester, the Borough Council of the Borough of Wyomissing wishes to appoint posthumously Derrick Nester as Deputy Fire Chief of the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department. Now therefore, be it resolved by Wyomissing Borough Council, standing on behalf of its residents, that it extends sincere gratitude and appreciation for Captain Nester's outstanding service and sacrifice. Further resolved that in recognition of his exemplary service and in honor of his dedication to the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department, Captain Derrick Nester is hereby promoted posthumously from Captain to Deputy Chief of the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department. Further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be delivered to the family of Deputy Fire Chief Derrick Nester of the Wyomissing Borough Fire Department, conveying the appreciation and condolences of the entire Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania. It is at this time I would like a motion to accept this ordinance, or this resolution.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is a unanimous decision. This resolution number 2024-22 is passed with remorse. Thank you. Thanks, guys. That's one of the worst council meetings ever. Okay, item number 7. Mr. Herbert,
We don't need item 7, and the subject matter of 7 related to item 8, and I want to announce for the record that there has been an agreement reached between the borough and the persons who are the defendants in 3 code enforcement matters that are pending before the borough, and the conditions of that agreement are that the hearings before the borough council for a stormwater ordinance violation, the hearing that was scheduled for the infrastructure committee meeting on Monday for a violation of the property maintenance code, and a hearing that was scheduled also before the Berks County Uniform Construction Code Appeals Board will all be continued for 60 days on the condition that I receive a signed copy of the contract between the property owner and Spot Stevenson McCoy, for Spot Stevenson McCoy to represent the property owners in preparing and submitting to the borough within 60 days applications for a building permit and a stormwater plan for the unpermitted work that they did on their property and is the subject of the notices of violation. Further, the property owner is going to reimburse the borough for its out-of-pocket expenses relating to those 3 code enforcement matters. So in consideration of the agreement that has been reached, the hearing that would have occurred tonight is continued for 60 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions on that? Okay, moving on, in your packet, you have the council minutes of the April 9th meeting, and I'll entertain a motion to approve, deny, or amend. Motion second to approve, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consulting engineers report, Mr. McCarthy.
Good evening, everyone. Everything is in our report in light of a full agenda. I'm not going to add any more unless you have a question for me.
Anybody have any questions? Thanks, Jim. Okay, moving on to the police chief and mayor's report. Motion to approve.
So, second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to the police chief and mayor's report. Chief.
Good evening, everyone. You have the report in front of you. I always give a highlight because of the length of the agenda for the night. I'll be very brief. A couple things that I wanted to point out is I know that there have been some questions, or there's some talk about Happy Hollow tonight with the basketball courts going back and some concerns down there. My officers spent almost 10.5 hours of time during the month down there. There has been an individual that was identified staying down there. I know there was some questions about this individual. He was not doing anything illegal. There was nothing that we could really do. It says in here about his vehicle, though, it was not stickered properly for inspection. There was a process for abandonment. When I typed this, it was still there. But that car has since been removed, and he has moved on. We have not seen him. So, I would just like to say that as the basketball courts may be returned to their full length, we're going to still be down there. We're not going to be down there all the time. So I'm just ask if there are concerns, make sure you just call us. If you hear people giving you concerns, ask them to give us a call so we can go down and check out, see what's going on. But other than that, if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions? Motion to approve the chief's report. Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, in your packet also is the Fire Chief Holmes report. Needless to say, he's kind of occupied right now with his staff and family. So I'm just going to entertain a motion that we approve. Oh, here comes Chief Holmes now.
Sorry.
Your timing's perfect, sir. You're up.
So to wrap up for April, our activity report, we had a total of 149 incidents. 86 of those were in the borough. 63 times we provided mutual aid to our neighboring agencies that are listed up there, Spring Township being the primary one. There were 28 QRS calls with 11 patient contacts. 98 hours of training were completed and 0 uses of Narcan year to date. The average turnout time was 1 minute and 38 seconds. Personnel was about 5.1. For the stats for the year, you can see that we're down about 7.6%, which is a good thing. Most of that is in the 3902 box, which would cover the Berkshire Heights out North Park Road and that section of the borough. Moving on to fire loss, there were 2 losses this year so far. The most recent vehicle fire estimated about $1,000 of loss. From staff activity, there were 3 wellness sessions held in April. The last one was a combination with the police department. It was well received and enjoyed by everybody that was there. The staff also participated in the Earth Day Fair on April 20th at Happy Hollow, and then again at the Science Fair at Drexel School of Medicine on April 28th. Between both of those public engagement opportunities, we saw well over 1,000 people. It was phenomenal. From the inspection side here in the borough, at the end of April, we were up to 279 inspections completed. I've been working with our fire code official to get back on top of the outstanding ones here in the borough, and we've got a good plan in place for that. The ISO requirements for training are up there on the screen. Each of those different categories has a specific amount of time that go with them. I had an internal training committee put together that focused a lot of effort on designing training evolutions that will meet all those different criteria there. So we're maximizing the downtime in between calls with some training. Outside of that, I appreciate the honor of Captain Nester tonight. It was very heartwarming. Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard the fire chief's report. Are there any questions? Motion to approve. We have a motion and second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much, Chief Holmes, for everything.
My pleasure.
Moving on to the committee reports. First one will be refuge and recycling. Ms. Barnett.
Thank all the members of the community who are becoming more interested in this committee, particularly spearheading the transformation, hopefully, from refuse and recycling to the EAC, Environmental Advisory Commission. We formed a subcommittee to finalize our proposal for an ordinance to adopt an EAC replacing refuse and recycling. I want to thank Jen Weimer in particular for chairing that subcommittee. She was assisted by Paula George and Adrian Jadick. We're going to have a meeting later this month and move that on to council for the June meeting. We did have JP Mascaro come to our meeting. I particularly was interested in our haulers' response to claims that the lower income families generate less trash than the higher income families, which we've heard multiple times, and according to our hauler, the opposite is true. The lower income families are generating more waste than the higher income families. We had our usual reports. We had a great turnout, participation in Earth Day, thanks in large part to members of the community who are interested in refuse and recycling at EAC. And that would be my report.
You've heard the report of the Refuge and Recycling Committee. Are there any questions? Entertain a motion to approve. Motion and second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Infrastructure Committee, Mr. Broder.
Thank you. Infrastructure Committee met on April 15th. I'll get right to it. The committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing payment application number 3 in the amount of $88,016.85 to Construction Master Services LLC for the pedestrian bridge and Stonehouse. And I'll go ahead and make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brunner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhopper?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay. Item 3, the committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing payment application number 5 in the amount of $469,010.13 to Balton Construction for the Public Works Facility using the Tompkins General Obligation Note. I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Mogul, second by Mrs. Barnett. If I have that correct? Okay.
That's fine.
Roll call, please.
And Councilmember Brunner?
I will abstain since my employment is with Tompkins Financial.
Councilmember Senko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhardt?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes.
Okay, keeping with the Public Works Facility in motion, the committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing payment application number 2 in the amount of $38,812.50 to AH Moyer for the Public Works Facility using the Tompkins General Obligation Note.
I'll make the motion.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brunner?
I abstain for previous reasons.
Councilmember Senko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhardt?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes.
Moving right along with the Public Works Facility, the committee is making a recommendation to approve authorization payment number 1 in the amount of $11,853 to Garden Spot Electric for the Public Works Facility using the Tompkins General Obligation Note.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brunner?
I abstain for previously stated reasons.
Councilmember Senko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhardt?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes.
Okay. Item 6, or PI, the committee is making a recommendation to deny or reject all bids received for the Stonehouse project and review phasing and rebidding of the project. And I'll go ahead and make that motion. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Let's rebid it, see what happens.
That's all I have. Make a motion to approve the report.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the library board, Mr. Weinhopper.
Thank you very much. Library board is, last month we were looking to, we had the letters out for the mailers for your memberships, so in your mailboxes, send it back if you're going to join the library board. Additionally, after the refuse and recycling committee, the hauler report had great reception from everyone there. So we took that to the library because the rep haulers will do a general public meeting, go over what is and is not allowed in your cans, which was eye-opening to the people in refuse and recycling. So they're going to do a larger presentation open to the public at the library. So be on the look out for that later this year.
Very good. Anybody have any questions for the library? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
To approve. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Keep with it, Mr. Weinhopper. Let's go on the rec board.
Oh, rec board, wonderful. I will defer to Randy for the rec board.
I'll keep it short and sweet. We just finished up with, since the last meeting, we've had 3 proposed events. The Stargaze in the Parklands was canceled due to rain. We wrapped up Earth Day, which was a tremendous turnout for that. Thanks for everybody who helped and put in effort toward that. Trout fishing rodeo couldn't have had better weather. We had over 90 participants. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but I heard it went well. And I guess big thanks for the rec board members who helped out, Public Works, and the original founders, was Joseph A. Miller, and his sons are big contributors to the program now. And in fact, Peter made a comment he emailed me and said this was one of the best ones that he could ever remember. So that meant a lot to me for a guy who's been around for 74 years. And actually, Michelle got to spend some time with him as well. So, and a big thanks to Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop for the prizes that they donated. Memorial Day, we're keeping our fingers crossed for good weather. Right now, we have over 35 organizations and groups participating in that. Summer concert series kicks off June 6th. The playground program, the registration deadline is supposed to be next Friday. We're going to extend that as we've done in previous years. Registration, as everybody knows, everybody's holding on to their money longer. And so registration right now is down compared to last year. But as Michelle was talking to me about that this last week, there should be a huge influx in that. Rentals for April, May were great, $2,700 generated. Through Wyomissing Rec with our memberships. Right now we have 20 people signed up for swimming lessons. 11 people signed up for tennis lessons, 368 playground program, and 7 for swimnastics. Okay?
Well done.
And then I would make a motion to approve reinstalling the hoops at both Happy Hollow and Wyomissing playgrounds.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Let's get those hoops back up.
Amen.
Very good. Thank you.
I'd just like to state that I was in attendance at the meeting, although no one was I was there.
Okay, any other questions for the Recreation Board? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, the Fire and Police Committee met on April the 29th, and a few items. First, under the Fire Department, Chief Holmes reminded the committee that 2 candidates remain on the entry-level firefighter civil service list, of which only 1 candidate is accepted the position and the other declined. As a result of that, the committee is making a recommendation to authorize the unbudgeted expense to purchase firefighter protective equipment at a cost of $5,086.30 for a probationary firefighter, which began May 13th. So, hearing that, entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion. I don't know, has that money been spent already?
Yeah, it's using equipment that we have. Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Senko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
Council President James?
Yes. Okay, in addition, the committee, and I'll make the motion, to recommend council approve the unbudgeted expense to purchase a firefighter uniform items at a cost of $820.56 for our probationary firefighter starting May 13th. He has not received that equipment yet either.
Second.
Motion second, roll call please, Walter.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Senko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. And Chief Holmes further went on that he has prepared a description for the deputy fire chief's position, and that's going to be turned over to the Personnel Committee, and I'll make the motion from the committee that this be presented to the Personnel Committee for further refining and determining the salary range. Yeah, it's right there.
No, that's your minutes.
That's your notes.
It is not on the agenda.
Since it doesn't need approval by council, you're just sending it to personnel.
But thanks for the information.
Hey, anyway, so that's where we're staying with this. He's moving ahead with the description, and hopefully we should be able to get that solidified next month. So, okay, moving on to the police department.
No.
State
Item 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I know,
Those are police.
that's police matters.
Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. My
Okay.
apologies.
Under the police department's report, Chief Phillips shared that a permit application was received for Safe Burke's Walk for No More event proposed for June 15th. And on behalf of the committee, I will recommend that this be approved by council.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Chief Phillips also discussed the residential request to have parking restrictions on one side of Lowers Lane in the vicinity of Cambridge Avenue. This request was made due to the increased parking and traffic flow concerns on Lowers Lane with sporting events are going on. The Borough Manager, Michelle Baer, has been in touch with the school district, who is still exploring sports and bus parking options. Therefore, there's a motion of the committee that we just table this for now. But just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Okay, Chief Phillips also discussed the proposed amendment to ordinance 1185, chapter 15, section 104, temporary and emergency regulations, providing language, provide restrict parking and allow for parking in restricted areas for up to 72 hours. And the committee is recommending to council that this be approved. Therefore, I will, I will make that motion that this be advertised.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And that would, then we have ordinance number 1443-2024, an ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending chapter 15 entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Part 1, entitled General Regulations, Section 104, entitled Temporary and Emergency Regulations of the Wyomissing Borough Code of Ordinances, in order to authorize the mayor and the chief of police to modify certain parking and traffic regulations during certain temporary and emergency situations. And I will entertain a motion to advertise it. Okay. You just have to read it. Let's do it two things. Okay, okay. We're now at ordinance number 1442-2024, an ordinance of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending Wyomissing Borough Code of Ordinances to repeal a parking prohibition on Hill Avenue in front of 25 Reading Avenue. And
I'll make a motion to approve adopting ordinance 1442-2024.
This one is.
no, this is just repealing. We're just repealing.
This one is.
As to repealing the parking prohibition on Hill Avenue in front of 25 Reading Avenue.
I second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the fire and police committee
So
report.
moved. Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to the planning commission, Mr. Stanko.
Okay, the planning commission, the first thing on the agenda, which we welcome, previous was that is the actual ordinance hearing, conditional use hearing regarding ordinance 1440-2024, and the redevelopment area, mixed use. That will be considered advertised. Basically, if you'd like to read everything you just heard, if you're at the planning commission, you heard it again this evening. I'll eliminate reading it again by saying we have a motion made by Scott Miller, second by Michael Hurd, to recommend council authorize advertisement and adoption of ordinance 1440.4 and the updated zoning map, and the motion was carried at that time 4-1, and recommend council move forward with that ordinance. Question.
We have a motion. Second. And second. Question on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
We have one abstention. Or excuse me, One no vote. Motion passes.
All right, second item on the agenda is Wellington Boulevard, State Hill Craft Population Commission, kitchen preliminary land development submission. We covered that extensively at our meetings, and if you care to read further, it's in your packet. There's a motion made by the planning commission, second by John Woodward, to recommend council grant conditional preliminary land development plan approval for 1 Wellington Boulevard, subject to all the items in part the engineer's review letter, as well as the plan scale waiver request and redevelopment mixed use incentive overlay map for State Hill Road being approved by council. That was approved for the one year extension of that is requesting the council approve that motion.
You made the motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One nay. Motion carries 6-1.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, 2020-05 Greenwood Road, a request for waiver of formal land development subdivision requirements. Not sure how many people know what's going on over there. We've asked the Village Technical Institute be downsized for the use of a healthcare facility, a daycare facility called Lightbridge Academy. Extensive discussions took place, leading to a motion by Jana, second by Scott Miller, to recommend the council grant a waiver from the formal land development submission requirements for the interior, exterior modification to 2205 Woodford Road, subject to McCarthy engineer review letter dated May 2nd, 2024. And legal counsel representing 2205 Ridgewood submitting a letter indicating that queuing and stacking vehicles are not concerned for the project. Thus, the request is to submit queuing and stacking analysis, and that was approved by the planning commission without objection. I recommend the council approve that motion.
Second.
You making that motion?
Aye.
Okay. We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, so approved.
Okay, moving right along, 1040 North Park Road. This is a sketch subdivision plan conditional use application. This is what?
No, that's not on the agenda.
That's the meeting minutes.
Yeah,
That's just a recommendation for the June council meeting where the conditional use hearing is at, which is not here.
Oh, okay. Time models, same story.
That's not for council.
All right, I guess I'm done.
I'll make a motion to approve the report of planning commission.
Second.
Motion.
Ask that we amend the minutes to correct the name Patricia, spelling of Patricia Floyd's name.
Misspell it,
I don't think you did.
I can misspeak
But a
it.
gentleman might want to take credit
I
for it,
like
wanted
it.
to, yeah. So just for that modification.
so noted. Nice job, Ron. Entertain a motion to approve the planning commission report.
Just made it second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to finance and administration, Mr. Brunner.
Okay, just a quick overview. Looking at net results for both April and year-to-date, April 24 revenues exceeded expenditures by $2.273 million, with a positive variance of $254,000 versus 2023, and more importantly, a positive variance of $556,000 when compared to the April 24 budget. Revenues exceeded expenditures by $2.418 million, and net year results, which is a positive variance of $424,000, and when compared year to date, with a positive and a positive variance of $1.173 million when compared to the budget for 2024. Due to the fact that we had more revenue coming in than expenses, the overall fund balance is $13.872 million. of which 2.775 is reserved and 11,097,000 is unreserved. So just to give you a year-to-date update where we stand with the budget, right now things seem to be going relatively well. I won't jinx it, so I'm not going to say it. All right, now getting on to what we need to do. The committee is making a recommendation, and the background on this is there were 2 digits slipped in the sewer accounts. So we found out we were overcharging the residents and the commercial accounts, and we want to give them the money back. So the committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing a one-time credit in 2024 of $10.80 to residential sewer accounts and $32.40 for commercial sewer accounts to rectify the overcharge of the 2023 residential and commercial sewer rate minimums as found during the 23 audit. And I'll make that recommendation.
Second. Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Should I read the whole resolution? Resolution 24-19 is a resolution of the Borough Council of Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending resolution 2024-07 to revise the list of accounts by removing an account which is no longer needed to confirm the delegation to the borough manager and borough treasurer, appointing authority for signatories on the borough's Tompkins Community Bank depository accounts. So the committee is making a recommendation to approve resolution 2024-19 as to revising the listing of Tompkins bank accounts and to confirm the signatory for deposit accounts.
I'll make that.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain due to my complaint of the Tompkins.
One abstention. Motion passes.
The committee is also making a recommendation to approve authorizing the business manager to complete a new account application with Pliget for the purpose of investing liquid fuel funds and to move the current liquid fuel funds from Tompkins Community Bank to Pliget.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain due to the fact that I work for Tompkins Community Bank.
We have one abstention. Motion passes.
The committee is making a recommendation to approve authorizing the business manager to draw the Tompkins General Obligation Note in the amount of $532,250.38 for the Public Works Garage for the May Management Services Fee Act, architectural and engineering fees, as well as construction, plumbing, and electrical services pending May's council approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
I abstain.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. Motion passes with one abstention.
The committee is also making a recommendation to approve ratifying the payment application number 1 to S.J. Thomas Company, Inc. in the amount of $49,990 for the Borough swimming pool repairs, and I'll make that recommendation.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay, the committee is making a recommendation to approve the payment application number 2 to S.J. Thomas Company, Inc. in the amount of $44,052 even for the borough swimming pool repairs, and I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay. The committee is also making a recommendation to ratify the payment for the first due fire reporting software in the amount of $12,900 for the borough's fire department reporting software for a 1-year period beginning April 30, 2024, and I will make the motion to approve that ratification.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes.
Okay. We had an issue with our force main repair down at the shops of Wyomissing, mysteriously coincided with an earthquake. But we had to make some emergency repairs, so the committee's making a recommendation to approve ratifying the payment application number 1 to Slough Incorporated in the amount of $41,846.63 for the force main repair in the vicinity of the shops of Wyomissing, and I'll make that recommendation.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stankin?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Finance and Admin Committee report.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, Mr. Brewer.
Aye. Take a breath.
Okay, moving on to Borough Manager's report, Mrs. Bear.
Good evening, Council. Before I get into my report, I just wanted to take a moment to publicly thank the Fire Department of Spring Township, Western Berks Fire, the City of Reading Fire Department, and the West Reading Fire Department for covering our station last week while we were out of service. That was very much appreciated, and both Chief Holmes and I have been in communication with those other departments to thank them. The Western Berks Water Authority and Joint Municipal Authority meeting minutes have not yet been received. They will be in a future council packet when we do receive them. I'm respectfully requesting a motion to ratify authorizing myself to notify Spring Township of the borough's intent to terminate the intergovernmental agreement for fire department management services with the termination date effective as of June 1st, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm also respectfully requesting a motion to approve granting a waiver from section 401.1 and 403.1 for the subdivision and land development ordinance for the state Hillcraft Cocktails and Kitchen preliminary plan to allow a plan scale of 1 inch equals 20 feet and the other required 1 inch equals 50 feet. This is a typical waiver, we grant it all the time.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Opposed?
The ayes have it.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve authorizing the execution of a contract with the Mummers in the amount of $7,500 and a contract with Klein Bus Service in the amount of $1,500 for the participation of the Mummers at the borough's 2024 4th of July parade, with funding to be paid for by private donations made by citizens of the borough.
So moved.
Motion and second.
So strutted is what you should have said.
That's right.
Oh, you want this? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko? Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Councilman Stanko for his efforts on this and keeping the phone calls under 50. That was good.
Good job, Ron.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve authorizing the business manager to move funds as needed to and from the Pliget class and Pliget private accounts to support business operations. I'll make that motion. So,
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to approve adoption of resolution number 2024-20 to recognize Mario Iliano for his very, very, very many years of service to the borough. His last day was about 2 weeks ago. Staff threw a lunch for him. I think he's a little unsure of what to do with all of his free time, but I think we'll figure it out.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes
Respectfully,
with regret.
Respectfully requesting a motion to approve adoption of resolution number 2024-21 as to approving funding for the capital assistance improvement project, which in this case is grant funding for Borough Home and Police Department.
Anybody wish to make that motion?
What was it? What was the last part, Michelle?
Funding for Borough Home and Police Department.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion and second, question on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
After many, many months of waiting, I would respectfully request a motion to approve the lead job positions for the parks, tree, public works, water and sewer, buildings and grounds, and the mechanic, as has been approved by the Parks and Maintenance Association's legal counsel and as previously discussed and tabled during the November 2023 and March 2024 council meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Some fun reading there.
Oh, right.
I'm respectfully requesting a motion to accept the Civil Service Certified Promotional Hiring List for the position of captain within the Wyomissing Fire Department, and as a reminder, we do now have 2 positions open.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And I'm respectfully requesting a motion to authorize the promotion of Adam Seitz and Thomas Canto to the 2 open captain positions within the Wyomissing Fire Department.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, with our congratulations.
And a friendly reminder that Borough Hall will be closed on Monday, May 27th in observance of Memorial Day.
Make a motion to approve the borough manager's report. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, also in your packet, I see the treasurer is not here tonight, Mr. Reeser. You have the treasurer's statement of operation, including the general fund, Bureau of Water, sewer fund, highway aid, refuge recycling fund, and the road tax fund. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Also in your packet is the accounts payable report, including the general fund, Bureau of Water, sewer fund, refuge recycling fund, and I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call please.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Stanko?
Yes.
Councilmember Reimer?
Yes.
Councilmember Barnett?
Yes.
Councilmember Vogel?
Yes.
Councilmember Weinhofer?
Yes.
And Council President James?
Yes. You also have the tax collector's report from Mrs. Heckman. And I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
Second.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, that concludes official borough business as it relates to agenda items. Are there any public comments as they relate to non-agenda items? Mr. Jadick.
Yes, just shortly, I want to revisit the comment I made at Finance regarding the potential conflict of interests with Steve Brunner, working for Tompkins Bank and being the chair of the Finance Committee. So I think this speaks for itself, but just the mere fact that you abstained from decisions does not cut it, in my opinion. You are still, have access to financial information, you have access to competing bids, you can have access to a lot of things that could benefit your employer. So I think if you were the chair of the Parks and Rec, there would be no problem. But I think that the borough has to revisit the conflict of interest policies here. I understand we've been doing business with Tompkins for a long time, but again, that's not a reason for you to chair the Finance Committee. So I think, or an excuse or something. Well, that was given by you last time that we were always doing business, or Michelle actually said.
Never said a damn word, just to be clear. Never said a damn word.
Good. Well, I'm sorry. Michelle said. Okay? Does that make it better? So I think that we have to look at this because, Tompkins comes in financial meetings over and over and over again. And again, I think it speaks for itself. I think I'm on point here.
Do you have any law on that?
Say again?
Do you have any law on that? Or is it
Law?
just law?
I think just mere ethics, right?
No, I'm asking you, is there a position on this in the law?
I'm not a lawyer, sir. I just use common sense. When I see something happening, I will comment, and I think I have the right to comment on something that looks
As you have
strange,
many times.
correct? Thank you.
Okay, let's be clear about this, and I want to be totally transparent with you, sir, that Mr. Brunner is not the first bank executive that we've had serve in a financial position in this borough. As a matter of fact, in that type of position, we need expertise. So with you, with whatever
Not when we
qualifications
do
you
business with
allegedly
his
have
employer.
on anything, certainly would not qualify.
Absolutely.
I am the
But I-
one who
yeah.
appointed, as president of the Borough Council, Mr. Brunner, the chair of that committee. So if you have
And-
issues, take it up with me.
I did.
Are there any other public comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, one and all.